This video will dive into a game-changing method to foster a positive learning environment that boosts student confidence and motivation. We all know the power of sending home notes of praise, but the time constraints can be daunting. But fear not, today I'm going to show you a tech-savvy solution that will revolutionize the way you inspire and connect with your students and their families. By harnessing the magic of Google Forms, Sheets, and Autocrat, I'm going to show you how to automate the notes of praise process, making it easier than ever to cherish and celebrate your students' achievements beyond the classroom. Stay tuned for an educational transformation like no other. Let's get started. Begin by creating a Google form that your teachers will submit to create their note of praise. Title your form accordingly, and then in the first question, let's change the question title to student name. To that right of the question title, you can either make that a drop-down or a multiple choice question. Then type in the possible responses or student names for your question. It may be helpful to run a report from your school's SIS or gradebook that would include all of the students in the class, grade, team, school, etc. I recommend generating that report so it's the student's last name and then their first name. Mark that question as required. Add another question, and for the question title, type teacher. To the right of the question title, choose multiple choice. Type the possible responses of teachers' names for your question and mark the question as required. Add an additional question with the question title being reason for a note. To the right of the question title, choose multiple choice or drop-down. And type the possible reasons for your note. Mark that question as required as well. Add one final question, and for the question title, type additional comments. We're going to choose paragraph as this question type. This question does not need to be marked required, so it could be skipped. Scroll up to the top of the screen and select responses, then link to Google Sheets. Create a new Google Sheet for your responses to filter into. Then select View in Sheets to open your response sheets. Add a new sheet to your spreadsheet by clicking the plus sign in the bottom left-hand corner. Right-click on the Sheet 1 and select Rename to rename the spreadsheet email lists. Add the following text to your sheet. In cell A1, type student name. In cell B1, type student email. In C1, type parent guardian email. You can fill in the sheet by copying and pasting this information from your SIS, gradebook, or student contact information. Add another sheet to your spreadsheet by clicking the plus sign in the bottom left corner. Right-click on Sheet 2 and select Rename to rename the spreadsheet Teacher Lists. Add the following text to your sheet. In cell A1, type teacher name. In cell B1, type teacher email. Enter the teacher name that corresponds to the Google form question and their corresponding email address. To begin automating some of the tasks, we are now going to use some spreadsheet formulas to auto-populate some cells into the Form 1 response sheet when a user submits the form. Navigate back to the Form Responses 1 sheet and add the following text to your sheet. In cell G1, type student email. H1, type parent guardian email. I1, type teacher email. J1, type student last name. K1, type student first name. In cell G2, let's type in the VLOOKUP formula. This formula looks at the student name from column C, scans the email list sheet for that student name, and then inserts the corresponding student email address into the cell. You can copy and paste these formulas directly from the doc on your screen that you see right now that includes step-by-step directions as well as the formulas. In cell H2, type the VLOOKUP formula that will look at the student name in column C, scan the email list sheet for that student name, and then inserts the corresponding parent guardian email address. In I2, that VLOOKUP formula is going to look at the teacher name from column D and then scan the teacher's list sheet for that teacher name and insert the corresponding teacher email address into the cell. And then in cell J2, we're going to use the split formula that's going to take the student's combined name from column C and separate that last name into column J and the first name into column K. Since formulas in Google Sheets are not applied to new form responses, we will need to install the Copy Down extension. Click Extensions, then Add-ons, then Get Add-ons. Search for Copy Down and click Install. Follow the on-screen instructions to link your Google account. Then click Extensions, Copy Down, and then Copy Down Settings to get started. Toggle Copy Down Formulas to the On position. This will enter a blank response on your response sheet. It could also bump all of your formulas down a row. Copy Down only recognizes formulas in row 2 of a spreadsheet. Select the formulas in cells G3 to J3 that may have just been bumped down, and click and drag, cut and paste these formulas into cell G2 and J2. Then click the Rediscover Your Formulas buttons on the right. The formula should now be found in row 2 of your form responses sheet and will copy down automatically as a new submission arrives. Click Save Settings. Autocrat is a multi-purpose document merge tool that allows you to take data from a spreadsheet and merge it into a document via a template. You can tell Autocrat which fields to merge by creating merge tags out of the column headers on your spreadsheet and then let Autocrat mass generate personalized documents. You can also send the documents as email attachments by telling Autocrat to run when new forms are submitted to create a truly automated process. Create a folder in your Google Drive to house your template and completed notes of praise by clicking the plus new and then new folder. Name your folder Completed Notes of Praise. In that folder, we're either going to create a Google Doc or a slide that you would like to auto-populate with the response information from the Google form. For this example, I'm going to make a Google slide. Design and format the slide. I recommend using a naming scheme such as Template Note of Praise so that you can easily identify the file as your template for Autocrat. Enter the text boxes for any information you wish to include. In the example, you will see a text box that says for, bracket, bracket, student first name, bracket, bracket. This is called a tag. The tag's text must match the column headings in the Google Sheet exactly. I recommend copy and pasting from the sheet so that everything matches up. You are now ready to enable Autocrat. Navigate back to your Note of Praise responses sheet. Click Extensions and Add-ons and Get Add-ons. Search for and install Autocrat by following the on-screen instructions. Open and launch Autocrat on the Notes of Praise spreadsheet. Click Add-ons, Autocrat, and then Open. Click New Job. Then you will be prompted to give your first merge job a name. I recommend Notes of Praise. After naming the job, click Next. Connect your Google Slides template by selecting either from Drive or from your templates listed on the screen. If you select from Drive, you can search your Google Drive for your templates, click on the slides, and then select. Match template tags by mapping the source data to the template. Check to make sure that tags you set up in the Google Slide template match the correct column headers. Be sure to scroll down to check them all. Then click Next. If tags and columns don't match, you'll need to select from the drop-down menu the matching column header. Set up your file settings by giving a file name for the output document that the add-on will create. You can add tags in the title so the name will be different depending on the student name, teacher name, date, etc. You can change the type of document from a Google Doc to a PDF, then click Next. You will need to tell Autocrat where you want all of the new documents to go after they've been created by selecting a destination folder. Click on Choose Folder and find the folder that you created for your Autocrat responses to go to, called Completed Notes of Praise, and click on Select, then click Next. You will skip the next two screens by clicking Next. These are optional features that you will not need to use for this task. You are now able to decide how to share the file and send emails. Change Share Doc to Yes. Choose from the drop-down list how you would like to share the doc as. I recommend PDF for accessibility purposes. Choose if you would like collaborators to be able to reshare. I recommend setting that to No for privacy purposes, but it's your call. Change Send from generic no reply address to no. In the To field, add any email addresses that will need to receive a notification once the form has been filled out and Autocrat has created the document. I recommend using the following tags so that they are automatically generated for you: student email, parent guardian email, teacher email. Type in the subject line for the email and add any tags added that will be pulled directly from the data entered on the Google form. For example, student first name, student last name, received a note of praise. Type in a message that will be included in the email, then click Next. On the Add Remove Form Trigger page, change the Run on Form Trigger to Yes. Make sure that Run on Time Trigger is set to No. Click Save. As soon as the form is submitted, the formulas will be applied via copy down, and Autocrat will autofill the template with the information from the form and will send the email for you. Incorporating Google Forms, Sheets, and Autocrat into your teaching toolkit will not only save you time, but also create a lasting impact on your students. So go ahead and spread the positivity, inspire, and connect with your students and their families like never before. Because in education, every small effort matters.